specifically, when do I get out? It tells you that. Check it out. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Get your 10-day free trial of my Pro 2 color-coded chart and a membership. When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
These stocks are on a tear. There is nearly nothing that can stop them.
They're telling us, as they always do, nothing can stop the tear of these stocks, especially the 5-6 stocks that have been driving this entire stock market. Welcome to Phil's Gang. You know, everybody keeps asking me, is it too late to get in these stocks? Netflix, Facebook, Amazon, Tesla. Is it too late to get any of these big, especially the tech stocks? And the answer is no. As long as the Fed keeps doing what they've been doing. Driving the stock market, not by profits, not by earnings or economic growth, but by creating inflation. You know, people don't understand. This market is a ticking time bomb. She wants to know what can break this market. I'll tell you. First of all, we have the banks aren't leading the market anymore. The banks always lead the stock market. They are always the leader. We have 11 sectors in the S&P 500. And the banks always have to be the leader. When you take out the banks and put any other sector in, it's not sustainable. It's like being on quicksand. To take the banks out and to put in the leaders, the big tech stocks, the FANG stocks, and then Apple and Microsoft, is dangerous because you can't sustain the rally. That's what happened in 2014. You go back to any crash and you'll see when the banks aren't leading and substituted by something else, it's not sustainable. That is a ticking time bomb. And the other ticking time bomb is the banks, not only are they not leading the market anymore, the banks aren't making money anymore. When they're saddled with 2.5% interest rates for 30 years fixed, they got to live with those. And the minute rates have to go up, and rates will go up because inflation is driving the stock market, meaning the printing of money to buy treasuries, to keep interest rates near zero, to stimulate sales, demand, instead of wage increases, better jobs, you're in deep trouble. But when you have 2.5%, 30-year fixed rate mortgages, when these interest rates go up, and they will go up to fight this inflation, these banks are going to get torched. Another ticking bomb for these banks that's going to take this market down. 100 million loans in forbearance? What are you, nuts? 100 million loans in forbearance? But you don't hear that from Fake Business News Network, do you? No. And what's going to take this market down again is the big tech replaced the bank-driven stocks. China, that can take this whole market down very easily. And the fact we have an overall fake stock market. See, when the stock market isn't driven, it's bad enough that the banks are not the support of the market, not leading the market up. But at the same time, when the banks aren't leading the market and corporate profits and economic growth and business investment is gone, replaced by inflation, that's what the Fed's doing. The Fed's saying, you know what? We don't need corporate profits anymore to move stock prices up. We don't need economic GDP growth that comes from business investment. We don't need that anymore. We don't need increased wages anymore. All we got to do is we can drive the market through inflation. And they lie about inflation all the time. When they say inflation is 2%, they're liars. Because if they had to admit to inflation, then they got to admit to increases in interest rates. So that's why they always lie. That's why they hate gold. When gold goes up, it shows their lie. There's no inflation. But when gold goes up, it tells you there's big inflation. When you substitute corporate profits, earnings, for quantitative easing, stock buybacks, where you print money. Again, the Fed keeps printing money to buy treasuries, to keep interest rates low, to give that money to CEOs to buy their own stocks so they don't have to have profits. This is what we've been doing. Especially if you take this last rally that we had from February when the market crashed, and then they rallied it back from February or from March up to August. Think about that, a 50% rally. But at the same time, they're printing $2.4 trillion to put out a program to help small businesses, which are the backbone of our economy. So wait a minute, how can the stock market be going up 50%, yet the economy is going down 40%? Economy meaning corporate profits and economic growth. I mean, who would think a stock market would go up 50% in 6 months, but yet we're printing $2.4 trillion so that we give $349 billion to a program called Paycheck Protection Program for small businesses, to give 90 million Americans $1,200 each to survive, to give 30 million Americans who are out of work to pay them more money than they'd be in than if they were working by giving an extra $600 a week unemployment on top of their $365 a week. Something's wrong, but the stock market's going up. And people can't wait to get into the market. The same stocks, the same stupid stocks. We're in these same stupid stocks. We're up in Apple 78%. We're up in Microsoft 39%. We're up in all these stocks. We're not going to fight it. Of course not. But the difference that we have here at Phil's Gang over you, we're going to know when to get out of this fake market. This market that's being inflated, not driven by economic growth, but driven by inflation. Inflate the stock prices. By increasing productivity through business investment. That's what you need to do, which increases wages. That increases new jobs, which increases more demand for our goods. And that demand increases spending, which contributes 72% to our economic growth. That's how you grow an economy. What the Federal Reserve has done said, oh, the hell with that. We don't need to go through all that. We don't need profits. We don't need wages, higher wages. We don't need to make new jobs. We don't need to put business investment in our businesses. We don't need to increase productivity by buying new machines. We don't need to do any of that. What we'll do, the Federal Reserve, will create a phony market. We'll increase economic growth by simply increasing the money supply to buy treasuries. What are you, nuts? More when we come back, and some good stocks for you to watch.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month, philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Warning, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60, 70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of the people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color-coded technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
This rally in August has been very well underpinned by tactical fundamentals.
No, it hasn't. They're talking about August being the best August since 1986. But it's not by fundamentals. What are fundamentals? Good economic growth. We haven't had economic growth. What's he talking about? Fundamentals, an increase in productivity. So you can give wage increases. How do you do that? How do you increase productivity? Through business investment. We have the lowest business investment in 30 years. CEOs not putting money back into their company to buy new equipment, to increase your productivity. So if you're making 100, let's say you're a hat manufacturer and you work for a hat manufacturer and you're making 10 hats an hour, they haven't given you a new machine so you can make 200 an hour. That means your productivity would be way up without increase of cost. You should get a wage increase. And then they hire new people. That's not happening. That's fundamentals. When you increase wages, increase new jobs, especially wages, that increases demand for goods. And when you have that demand, that increases spending. We spend. That contributes 72% to our economic GDP growth, which right now has been going down since 2019, not up. What the hell is he talking about? See, what the Federal Reserve has done is said, to increase economic growth, forget the fundamentals. They said, why don't we just increase the money supply, print money, to purchase treasuries, to keep interest rates artificially low, to give money to CEOs to buy their own shares, to push the stock up that way. So they're keeping interest rates artificially low to increase demand, to increase spending, to grow the economy, instead of increasing business investment, to increase wages and new jobs, to increase spending? What are you, nuts? They are increasing inflation instead of jobs. They get prices up. Now, relying on low rates to expand home sales is the greatest example. Look what they've done. They're printing all this money every day so they can go buy treasuries to make sure rates are so low, near zero. So they can offer you a 2.5% 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So they're trying to grow the economy by not giving you a wage increase, by not giving you a good, decent job. They're printing money which hurts every dollar you have in your wallet, every dollar you have in a savings account. It destroys the purchasing power of your dollar, but they don't give a damn. They're going to keep printing money to keep those interest rates low, to offer you 2.5% rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And then fake Business News Network gets up there and says, oh, look at the home sales this month. Wow. Wouldn't it be better to say, look at the home sales this month? The reason behind it? Wage increases. We've increased our manufacturing jobs. We increased our construction jobs. Not bartending jobs, not waitressing jobs, and not each person having 2 or 3 jobs. That's what goes on when you try to grow the economy through inflating. And what happens? You end up with debt, tremendous debt. Because people are taking on debt without wage increases by dropping interest rates. This is so stupid. See, that's what it's going to eventually take down this market. China could take this market down overnight. But in the meantime, what do? We enjoy the ride. Like I said, we're in all those big tech stocks. But what I've been telling my members is the biggest problem we're going to have. And by the way, if you look at the VIX index, it's what we call a fear meter. It's going up at the same time the stock market goes up. It's not supposed to do that. Not supposed to do that. When the VIX is going up, the fear is going up, when the market is going up, is telling you, watch out. Something's wrong in this market. But what do? Do you stop buying stocks? Of course not. Make money. Take advantage of it. Get out of your bonds. All you got to know is which stock to buy. Like my members, what are we doing? All the big stocks that we're in, the big tech stocks, like the FANG stocks, like Apple, Microsoft, we're still in them. Netflix, we're still in all these stocks, but we're taking profits and we're rotating to stocks that got beaten down, because the stocks that got beaten down when this market crashes, and a stock that went down 30, 40, 50, 60%, and it's not going down anymore. And when the market crashes, it's not going to go down anymore because the selling is done. Those are going to be the big winners. Now, unless you think that inflation is a better way to grow our economy, not through wage increases, not through business investment, but inflation. And that's pretty stupid, because what happens is we are inflating our prices, which means we can't compete with China. We're importing all their stuff. That's increasing our trade deficit. And that's another thing that will take this market down. But see, you don't hear any of this from the fake Business News Network, do you? They just mislead you. They just mislead you. They always lie about inflation. So, some of the stocks that you should be working on, for example, are the cruise lines. Yes, the cruise lines. But you got to be patient. When this market comes back, those will be the first stocks to go up. The airlines will be the first ones to go up. But here's what everybody's going to do. They're going to stay in Apple and Microsoft until the very end. Then they wake up one morning, the market's crashing, and they get clobbered. More when I get back. Join my gang free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Green at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40% I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1%? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, boydinvestigativegroup.com.
License number A1900020.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Remember to subscribe to my Phil's Gang YouTube channel to get both my live and archived radio shows. Also, my free Phil's Take on the stock market. Also sign up and get a free 10-day chart and membership trial. That's right. Free 10-day chart. The color-coded chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. And every day, remember, we take our portfolio, and each stock in that portfolio, we do a video on for our members and tell them exactly what to do. Does anybody else do that for you? Think about it. Our team gets together right after 11:30, the peak of the market. And then we put the numbers together, analyze everything. Then at 2 o'clock, we post. And here's an example today. Here's one of the stocks.
Taking a look at Caterpillar here, we added to it lightly yesterday. It did go up today, but then pulled back here. But we're going to stay with it. Just keep your stop.
And he goes on, and that's Steve. He's head of our education department here at Phil's Gang. And every day, he puts together his team, sits down, reviews the stock. I'm talking about the stocks in our portfolio. We don't go look at 5,000 stocks. You know, we have 5 stocks that we've been in for almost 4 years. They're called Phil's 5. And every day on those Phil's 5 stocks, we tell you what to do as a member. If all you did is follow the instructions, and the instructions come from the color-coded chart, and the color-coded chart follow the institutional money. That's what you have to follow. You know how many people are in this market and they'll never understand what's driving this market? They don't care. Just like how many people are in Tesla? Doesn't make money. They don't care. Nobody cares. Are you kidding me? Nobody cares. To date, 39 million Americans have filed for unemployment insurance. You ask, what, this market's never going to come down? What's it going to be to take down the market? They ask. Wow, this is almost impossible to take this market down. Really? China can have just a small announcement take this whole market down. There's as many as 2,215 out of 3,042 global stocks that remain in bear markets. Not all stocks are going up, meaning they're trading 20% below their all-time highs. And the valuations of the stocks right now are nuts. This is the biggest, the fakest market. And here's the other thing that remember. It's all about enjoying this ride, but know when to get out. 85% of you will never get out of your stock in time. And you're going to convince me that this market's not going to come down. This is different than 1987. And one day the market dropped 20%. Everybody was stunned. Convince me the dot-com, 2002, 2005. Those were never going to come down. Oh, different this time. This is the tech stocks. Then we had the financial market, housing market. Oh, that was much different this time. That'll never come down. Now here we are again. Same thing. This market's not going to come down. And people believe it. We got people buying stocks that never been in a stock in their life. And what is the first stock they go to? Apple. They go to Apple because they think Apple will never come down because they hear from the fake business news network every day. Apple, Apple, Apple. Microsoft, Microsoft. Amazon, Facebook, Google, Tesla. Every day. And those are the ones they go to. We did too. But the difference is, you don't go in now and start buying them unless you know when to get out. Every day I say to my gang, my new members, because the first thing they ask me, Phil, is it too late to get into Apple or Microsoft? And the answer is no, as long as you have some tool, some mechanism to know when to get out before they start crashing. Stock markets just you don't wake up one morning and the market's down 5,000 points. Doesn't work like that. In 1987 crash, we started to watch the market in January. It crashed in October. The 20% drop in 2018. I told everybody on January 6th, this was the end of the market. I said, this is the end of the bull market rally. And I said, and this was January. And I said, by December will be the worst month this year. We'll be in a correction. And I was right. And by December, that was the worst month ever we had, remember? And so how do they push the market back up? Well, it used to be in the old days through earnings. You go and find stocks that were beaten down, but good companies, great companies that had bad management. And you go look for those solid companies, and you buy those companies, and you hold on to those companies. And they would make sure they bring in new management, new money. Their top line sales would start growing. Their profits would start growing. Their return on assets would start growing. So you always watch your management. Just judge them by return on assets. Watch them like a hawk. Free cash flow you watch. Make sure they got enough cash flow so they can pay down their debt. You used to watch all these things. That's all gone now. That's all. You don't have to watch any of that anymore. Just wake up in the morning and buy Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Tesla, and you're on your way. I don't know. These stocks go for another year. I know one thing. They're going to go from here to November 3rd. So join my gang and at least ride them. The answer is no, it's not too late to get into any of these stocks. As long as you have a mechanism that identifies for you going forward that this market or this individual stock is starting to break down. Now, we're doing that now. We're taking profits from our big winners, and we're now starting to buy the stocks that nobody wants. Carnival Cruise Line. Nobody wants Carnival Cruise Line. Do you imagine nobody wants JetBlue? Nobody wants Southwest Airlines. Nobody wants Southwest Airlines. You don't think people are going to fly anymore? I'd rather buy Southwest Airlines than buying Apple. I already bought Apple. Our members bought Apple. We're up big in Apple. What am I going to do, add more to Apple? No, I want to start taking profits from Apple. If you have a year return of 78%, you start taking profits from Apple. Then start taking those profits and start putting a little bit into the airlines. You got to be patient. But the one thing we know when to buy the airlines, just like we know when to get out of Apple. See, what you don't have is the chart to tell you that. And you can think, oh, he's full of baloney. Well, you got 10 days to prove I'm full of baloney. Doesn't cost you a thing. And during those 10 days, just follow our video on any stock that you pick from our video. So we have our portfolio. Pick any stock, 2, 3, or whatever you want, and follow every day the instructions we give you by video on that stock. See how well we do based on the color-coded chart. This is nuts. Do you know in the past 8 weeks, the market didn't rally because we created new jobs and people got wage increases? You know how the market went up? While 39 million Americans filed for unemployment insurance, the Federal Reserve was out there purchasing mortgages from the banks so they don't go under. $4 trillion in just the past 8 weeks to make sure the banks don't go under. And they printed in the last 8 weeks $2.4 billion so they could again continue to go and again keep buying, purchasing treasuries to keep interest rates low, to keep the housing market going on. Now they're printing an average of $608 million an hour. You just got to know which stocks to be in, and the more important of which stock to be in, really, is when do I get out? Join my gang, free for 10 days. Get the color-coded chart, get my membership. We'll be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can.
PhilsGang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With PhilsGang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to PhilsGang.com. PhilsGang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Phil Green at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color-coded technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days, philsgang.com. And check it out. It is free for 10 days. And you can see if I'm full of baloney or not. You know, all I know is I've been on this earth for 74 years. I've been in this business over 45 years. I've seen a lot of crashes, and I've never seen anything like this leading up to a crash. Never. Where stocks are going up, not because they're making money, because people are getting so excited with the idea they can't come back down. The Federal Reserve's called the wall of worry. Sorry about that. The wall of worry. Meaning, everybody's convinced I'm just going to put my money in and make a fortune. Because if something happens, the Federal Reserve is going to do something else to push the market up. And look, think about it. In the last 8 weeks, like I told you, 39 million Americans have filed for unemployment, and they printed $4 trillion to go and purchase mortgages from the banks. I'm talking about the Federal Reserve, so that to support the banks so they don't go under. And now they're printing an average of $608 million an hour to keep on, again, supporting these banks, buying mortgages. But nobody cares. Now, there are, as I said, look, all you need to know in the stock market is when the money is going in. Look, do you remember I begged you, if you were listening to me then, I think it was on April 12th or 14th, I begged you. The S&P had that big collapse in February. And I said, for those people who don't want to learn anything, or who just don't have time, or just say, I'm done learning, I don't want to go back to school, just give me a hot stock. I begged you. I said, why don't you just buy the S&P? You got the 500 best stocks, best companies in the world. Just buy those. Nice and safe. You know how much we're up in those? My members? 31% since April to today. Now, I don't want you to buy it because I'm telling you we're up 31%. I don't want you to become a member because we're up 31%. I don't want you to become a member because we're up in Lowe's 60%, or we're up in Netflix 45%, or Apple 78%. That's not the reason for you to join the gang. Any moron, any dope can be that. Anybody could have reached 78% in Apple, 39% in Microsoft. Anybody. A kid that dropped out of high school, doesn't know how to read, he could have been up that much. How can you not be when you got the Federal Reserve pushing money into these stocks so they don't have to make profits? And that's driving the whole market. But here's the problem. Bank stocks. Let me explain how it works. And nobody's going to care, but I'll still do it anyways. Banks drive everything. Remember, we switched from an industrial nation to a financial-based nation because everybody wanted to make more money. They figured they could make more money as a money center country or financial, in other words, instead of manufacturing. Why manufacture goods? We can make much more money with finance. And they did. And so banks ended up having to support the S&P. Do you know your own stock, any stock you're in, from the top, when that stock drops, if it drops from 50 down to 25, you know it can only go up 1/3 the distance from the top to the bottom, only can recover 1/3 on its own? Let me say this again. Your stock dropped from $50 to $25. Now you're at 25, and only go back up 1/3 of the distance between 25 and 50. Anybody ever tell you that? Well, how you get up the rest of the way? Banks. The banks have to push up the S&P 500, that group of 11 sectors. When the banks are strong and they're supporting the S&P, that's how you get the rest of the way with your individual stock. But when you take the banks out and you replace them with any sector. Right now, they've been replaced with tech. You could replace them with staples. You could replace it with semis, whatever you want. It's not going to work. In all the 200 years or whatever many years, it's always the banks that keep the stock market up to sustain the rally. You got to have the banks leading, because the banks push up the S&P, and the S&P push up your individual stock, because when your individual stock drops from 50 to 25, it only go back up 1/3 that distance on its own. When you take the banks out, which they now have, and they put in the tech stocks, the big tech stocks, you got a real problem with the market. But they can keep driving this market for a long period of time. All that's going to happen is the economy is going to get worse and worse, because understand what they're doing. Like I told you, because companies no longer have to have profits and earnings to grow their stock, they're not taking their profits that they did have, or money, or the money they can borrow free. They're not investing it back into their business, called CapEx, or business investment. That's how we used to grow. We had the greatest companies in the world because they'd always take their profits, they'd borrow money, and they combine it, and they throw it back into the new machinery, new equipment, so that you, as the worker there, could keep producing more and more. And when we had a union, they made sure you got part of that profit that you produced. That's how it used to be. That's all gone now. After the crash of 2008, they decided, you know what? We don't need to do it that way anymore. Let's just drive the stock market by inflating the prices. Remember, our economy grows. 72% of our economic growth comes from spending. So what they said after 2008, people don't have any money to spend. So let's trick them. If they don't have money to spend, how can we grow the economy? Well, what we'll do is let's print money and drive interest rates down to zero and give the money to the CEOs to buy their own stocks to push the price up. And the hell with our workforce of 160 million people. We got rid of the pensions. We don't have to worry about the pensions anymore. We swapped it with a terrible, lousy 401k. No guarantee of a retirement there. And we're not going to keep increasing wages. Why increase wages? Because no longer do we have to have people an incentive to work hard to increase their wages so that they're productive, so our stock goes up. We don't need to do that anymore, because we found a way to move stocks up without having to increase productivity, hiring good people, or the people that we have, help them produce. We don't do that anymore. We can bypass them. So what we'll do is we'll inflate the stock prices up by printing the money, bunch of money, and keep buying treasuries to keep dropping those interest rates so low. We'll give the money to the CEOs and let them buy the stock. We don't need profits anymore. And boom, the stock market went nuts since 2008. Since 2008. And here we are. Now we're in 2020. From 2008 to 2020, you know, we never had a recovery in the stock market. We never had a recovery in the economy. Everything's been propped up. But boy, did a lot of people make a lot of money. And they're going to make more money going forward. All you need to know, when do I get off the train? When do I get out of this stock? That's where I come in. That's where Phil's gang comes in. Just try it for 10 days, free. You'll see. You'll know when to get out. That's what you need to know. And yes, you can keep buying these stocks as they keep going up. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
See if anybody shows up. Or they show up. The goddamn website's so complicated they don't want to sign up. I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. Damn it. Couldn't believe what they did to us.